All right. Just to continue off this next video, off the last video, um, typically look for someone that is ambitious, but not too ambitious. You want someone that's just good at following instructions. You don't want someone that's going to try to figure out the ins and outs of your business. I usually don't disclose that stuff to people that are working for me. Um, I would go for a college student, someone that's typically got a flexible schedule. Um, Ambitious, go-getter, family friend, or partner, and I'm referring to, if you're profit splitting with them, maybe involve them more in your business, then that's a different discussion. Um, you know, where do I post ads to hire? I typically go on Craigslist. That's how I found all my drivers outside of, my inner circle. You would go under Craigslist, subsection, transportation, and the cost of that is 45 bucks. Um, There's other options like ZipRecruiter or Monster, but those tend to be very more expensive, $150 to $250 a month, I think. But Craigslist would typically get the job done. Question 7: how do I prevent frauding? I guess the question, the answer to that would be, yeah, I don't know really what you're asking, but I would assume that you mean someone stealing money. Um, Basically, we're going to go back to the original questions that we had previously. But to add on top of that, if you're worried about stealing money, I would have a copy of their ID and make sure that the address is current. Also create a culture of respect and integrity. If someone respects you, they're less likely to do wrong by you. Now, is that foolproof that someone, is not, they're going to stop someone from doing that? Absolutely not. But by creating a culture of respect and integrity, they'll know that you're not someone to mess with or someone to, do dirty by. Um, Also have them sign a non-disclosure, non-compete. Now, if there's any, human psychology, having someone sign something definitely makes things feel more official, and it definitely makes them feel like this isn't, do I want to, is this a person that I want to do wrong by? And this link right here is a copy of a, non-disclosure, non-compete that you can customize to your own needs. So definitely can use that. How much volume do you recommend? Do you need to get started? It looks like I'm cutting off some of the screen, but I'm going to read it. I would recommend by doing $1,000 a week, um, you know, with the premise of you're basically firing yourself. Because in the strip game, $1,000 really isn't all that much, but it's enough where, it's taking up your time, and it's taking up too much of your time, and it's not the most dollar productive task that you can be doing. But what I would like to add on that is having how to utilize that person that you have on your team to to keep them motivated to make money, because obviously this person is motivated by cash. It's a job that they want steady cash, and so by offering them to place signs for you, that gives them that little more steady cash. Hey, when we don't have pickups, can you do signs? And if you're always marketing, and signs in my area have always been worth it. Now that might not be in your case, and so that's something that you need to test. But I would have them do signs, and I use an app called Simple Crew. And Simple Crew, let's just check it out. It's a website that you can visit, and it's basically an app that manages all your sign placements. So it costs $50 a month. And what they do is it's a pin drop with a picture. So they take a picture of the sign, and it shows where exactly that sign is on a map. And it shows a timestamp. And so you're able to hold them accountable to to the work that they're doing, and that they're doing it in a timely manner. So I would definitely recommend that. I pay $1 a sign and $20 after 100 signs just to keep them motivated. And if you're asking yourself, well, is it worth it? I mean, you got to look at what some of these websites are willing to do. They're willing to not make any money on the first time that they acquire the customer. Um, so if you're the cost to acquire a customer through a bandit sign, it's going to be significantly cheaper than what it costs on the internet. And that's a whole nother discussion that we can get into on another day if that's something that you'd like. Do you list them on your taxes? And the answer, if you're trying to run a legitimate business and do things above board, the answer would be yes. you have them fill out W-9, and then you issue them a 1099 at the end of the year. Let them know that you're doing that so they can account for taxes properly. Um, and these two forms, the 1099 and the W-9. Now I'm going to explain something very briefly in this following slide. How do you pay them weekly or daily? How do you make them sure that they don't double cross you or steal your client base of customers? I pay them as needed. Now I had a guy that he would do my signs, and he would he would need the money daily, but he did it good, and I know that he did it because we ran it on Simple Crew, and he would go out and hustle every night, but he needed the money every day because he was just so tight. I don't know, for whatever reason, he was in the situation that he was in. Um, so I was willing to do that for him. Now, if they didn't need it, I use a payroll service called Gusto. Gusto, I say $99 a month. I actually looked; it's actually cheaper, and they would handle all that. They would fill out the proper paperwork. They would distribute the money as they need it, and how I would do that is you would need to enter it manually, but there's a service called T-Sheets, and T-Sheets. If you're paying let's say you're paying something. It's basically if you're trying to, you can account for work that's being done, or hours being logged. I would use that for all my employees at the time. If you have a W-2 employee, definitely recommend this, that you're paying a salary, or even hourly or salary employees, to see how much hours that they're putting in. You can do T-Sheets, and then it automatically links up with Gusto, and then you would pay them accordingly. For contractors, you could do this as well. It really all depends. This is more so for, I would say, virtual assistants, or assistants, admin assistants that you have on site, that you want to pay according to their hours. And so we're just going to go back. How do you I would run them through my payroll service Gusto, and you can choose whether it's weekly or bi-weekly. I also have them sign a non-compete, and that goes back to my original point of, if they treat you as a business, they're less than likely gonna not do bad by you, versus if they look at you as an individual. If they just look at you as an individual, then they're more than likely gonna do something, as opposed to if you're a structured corp. And so you have to operate like that, if that makes any sense. Next question, what is your screening process? So basically, I have them do 3 referrals. I always follow up with referrals. Don't ask for them and then not follow up with them. Always call them and ask to talk to them. Ask questions like, were they on time? Did they do the job well? What complaints? What's one negative thing you would say about them? Ask some tough questions. More than likely, if they're a referral, they're going to say nothing but glowing reviews, but make sure to ask the proper questions that are going to um, incite, incite answers into digging a little bit deeper about their past and the type of person that they are. Then I would run a background check, clearchecks.com and Instant Checkmate. I believe they cost, but last time I used them, it was like $40 a month. Just make sure that you cancel them because they will renew. I'm going to give you the PowerPoint slides so you can actually click on the actual link themselves. As opposed to if you're just viewing this on a screen on YouTube, you won't be able to click on the link. Question number 12. Do you treat them like a regular employee? Well, yes, ideally you would want them to run on normal business hours, but there are some people that just need their money right away. And I don't know how many times I've gotten calls from people that, I need my money, I need my money, I need my money. Can you come today? And in situations like that, how I would handle it is have them come to you. And a lot of people are willing to do that, especially when you're the one with the cash. That's how you have to look at it. You hold power when you hold the money. And so have those people come to you instead of having a courier have to work overtime, or work different hours just for this one person. So And that is all, guys. If you got any more questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me, Jonathan Avila, on Facebook. Take care. Bye-bye.